I don't know about you, but I spend way more time scrolling than I'd like to admit. And every now and then I think I could probably use this time to actually learn something. So when I came across Nibble, an app that basically tries to turn scrolling into learning with short interactive lessons, I was curious. And when I saw the annual plan was under $50, I thought for that price, I have to give it a go. But does it actually work, or do you just stop using it after a few days? In this video, I'll be sharing my honest experience using Nibble, how the app works, what the lessons are really like, and the pros and cons, and whether it's actually worth your time and money. Let's get into it. So before we get into pricing and my experience, let's take a quick look at how the Nibble Learning app actually works. Nibble is essentially an all-round knowledge app with short 10-minute lessons designed to fit around your busy schedule. The idea is to spark curiosity without overwhelming you with too much information. It's focused on quick bite-sized learning, using a micro-learning style approach that fits into your everyday, whereas platforms like Coursera offer longer-form content if you're curious. I've covered that in a separate video. Nibble offers new lessons regularly across more than 20 different topics, ranging from STEM subjects to things like AI, criminology, personal finance, and general knowledge. What really stood out to me is how interactive the different ways of learnings are, and how visual and easy it is to use, which just makes the whole experience feel really enjoyable. You're not just reading or watching content, you're answering questions, playing small games, listening to short audio lessons, and even going through chat-style scenarios with historical figures like Shakespeare and Joan of Arc, which adds a really unique and fun element to the experience. It's quite a unique approach, and it definitely makes the experience feel more engaging and a bit more fun compared to a traditional learning app. So overall, it's designed for adults who want to learn in a more relaxed way, using short digestible content and interactive formats that don't feel too heavy. Now, when it comes to pricing, Nibble is pretty similar to a lot of apps in this space, but there are a few things worth knowing. First off, Nibble is a subscription base, so full access to the app comes through one of its paid plans. Right now, the monthly plan is around $11.99. There's a 3-month plan at roughly $19.99, and the annual plan comes in at about $49.99, which works out as the lowest cost overall. All of the plans give you full access to the lessons, quizzes, and features, so there aren't any extra in-app purchases once you've subscribed. It also runs on an auto-renewal model, which means your subscription will renew automatically unless you cancel it in advance. You'll need to cancel at least 24 hours before the next billing cycle to avoid being charged, and just deleting the app won't cancel the subscription. You have to go through your account or app store settings. But the good thing is, if you do change your mind, there's a 30-day refund policy. But it's definitely worth checking the full pricing details before you commit, just so you know exactly what you're signing up for. Before we get into my honest experience with using Nibble, a quick one. If you're enjoying the video so far, consider subscribing. It really helps support the channel and allows me to keep making more videos like this. Thanks so much. So after using Nibble for a while, here's what the experience was actually like. When you first sign up, the app asks you about your interests and the kinds of topics you want to explore. Based on that, it starts recommending lessons tailored to you, which makes it feel quite personalized straight away. Most of the time I found myself in the For You tab, which shows a mix of those recommendations. But what I liked is that you're not locked into that. You can easily switch between sections like explore, play, listen, and watch, depending on what you're in the mood for. If you're new to the Nibble app, this section does a good job of naturally guiding you through the different types of content available. Starting in the For You tab, one of the first things I tried was a typical interactive game. This one was about building a balanced food plate. It's pretty simple, but I have to say it was more engaging than I was expecting. I actually found myself getting a bit into it, which isn't something I usually say about learning apps. It keeps you involved the whole time rather than just passively going through the content. On top of that, there's a daily streak system, which is a small thing, but it does make a difference. It gives you that little nudge to keep coming back each day, and I can see how it helps build consistency over time. The Learn section, which is where most of the lessons sit, is definitely where you'll gain the most knowledge. Each lesson walks you through a concept step by step, mixing in things like quick questions, matching exercises, and true or false prompts to keep you engaged. It's not just theory either, you also get practical ideas along the way. For example, I ended up picking a few Mediterranean dish ideas. I actually tried out one of them, baked salmon with roast veggies and white beans, which my husband definitely approved of. The lessons themselves are quite fast-paced, almost more like a game. You're constantly getting instant feedback on whether your answers are right or wrong, which makes it feel surprisingly engaging, and at times a bit addictive. That said, because everything is quite short and fast-paced, it doesn't always go very deep into topics. You're getting more of a broad understanding rather than a detailed one. So it's less about mastering a subject and more about picking up knowledge in a way that feels easy and consistent over time. For me, it ended up feeling like something I could easily dip into throughout the day, which made it much easier to stay consistent and keep learning in small amounts. After weighing up the Nibble pros and cons, I can definitely see why this style of learning appeals to busy adults. One of the biggest strengths is how easy it is to use. The interactive and bite-sized learning makes it really simple to just open the app and get started. It's also very engaging. Because you're constantly answering questions and interacting with the content, it feels more like a game than traditional learning. Another big plus is how easy it is to stay consistent. The lessons are quick, so it doesn't feel like a big commitment to come back each day. And finally, there's a wide range of topics, which keeps things interesting and lets you dip into different areas depending on what you feel like learning. On the flip side, the content can feel a bit surface level. You're getting a broad overview of topics rather than going into too much depth. The pace can also feel quite fast at times, so if you prefer slower, more detailed learning, it might not suit you. And you'll need a paid subscription to access everything. So let's wrap things up. Nibble can be a really solid option if you're looking for something quick, interactive, and easy to stick with, but it really comes down to whether that style of short, gamified learning works for you. It works really well as a way to build a habit of learning and replace a bit of scrolling, but it's not really a replacement for more structured or in-depth learning. So if you found this video helpful, feel free to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you've tried Nibble and what you'd like me to review next. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.